So now what? You've probably asked yourself that question 100 times because for decades you've been doing what you have to. And now you're wondering, have I actually done enough to do what I want to do? Would you like some help? That's why we're here, to take you from I have to wow, I really get to. I'm Brad Johansson with Omega Wealth Private Capital, and this is Wise Money. Glad you are with us on Wise Money. Brad Johansson with Joe Wilson III. How are you, my friend?
Fabulous. On the set again with my good friend B. Joe, or as Cunningham says, Brad so handsome.
Okay. We have so many clients come in and go, so where do you guys tape this show? And we're out in Phoenix because of the beautiful set that we have access to.
I know. We need to do like let the cameras actually go around how big this place is. Then there's another one, and then there's another one, and it's fabulous.
It's a palace, but I come down here quite a bit, and I very rarely do it in a time when I can drink in some Cincinnati and Phoenix. I got to drink in a little Cincinnati and Phoenix. Got to a Reds spring training game.
How fun was that?
Taking on the Angels. Bob Castellini, thank you for your graciousness, was able to see Bob and his lovely wife, Sue, just before the game. Some of the fans going, what are you doing down here?
That's right.
Yeah, so we're down here in that idea. The reason I throw that out is because I got thrown to me a bag of peanuts. Hey, peanuts, here we got peanuts.
Nothing like peanuts at the ballpark.
Actually, this is in the first chapter of the book. When you get the book, you'll be able to see it. Hey, peanuts here. Everybody throwing that. And
yeah.
it was good to have that. It takes me to, when I talk about Bob Castellini, the owning, the coaching, and the playing. There are different things. And I talk about this all the time, that reps matter.
Yeah.
I want you to kind of share in retirement lingo what the difference is as we're going from coaching and owning and playing that gives us a significant idea of the understanding of moving from accumulation into retirement phase.
We say it a lot. We're blessed to have perspective because of the television show and our educational workshops that we do all across universities and even just centers, trying to just get the word out of here's the things you must do to be and stay retirement ready. In fact, if you like this show and you watch it, you want to attend one of our events, you're happy to do so. We don't charge for those.
Would
you can
love
go
that.
to our events page, owprivatecapital.com. You can click a link and sign up right there. We have perspective. We see a lot of folks coming into our office, up to 20 a week at times,
right,
where for the first time coming in saying, I need help with this. I'm getting ready to retire. I've just retired. It allows us the view of understanding those that have done it well and those that are struggling when they come in for the first time. I started in this business in 2006, and it was a great time. It was a great year in the market. Hindsight, it was tough then, but then 2007, 2008, 2009 hit. Just what a debacle when you look at the great financial crisis. It's known as the GFC. The stock market from October of 2007 to the low, March 9th, was down almost 57%.
I mean, think about it. 57%.
Yeah. You have $1 million saved up.
You've just retired.
That would be a problem. I sat those first few years training in the big wirehouses downtown, so some of the top wealth advisors in our city. And I got to see folks that were doing that well and those that weren't. Over the years, just because we had the great financial crisis, there's good years and then there's challenging years. And because we have perspective, it's allowed us to take in and see where some of the common areas where folks are just kind of missing, if you will. I even harken back, B. Joe, to the old beloved 60-40, 60% stock and 40% bonds. Set it and forget it. A lot of years that works well. And when you're accumulating, that's a very common thing we see folks come in with. But it's very different when you start the retirement years. And what I want to really focus on is how you played the game when you were working. You could have been an amazing investor, an amazing saver. But it's very different once you are in the distribution and retirement years. And there's not a greater example, in my opinion, and I'm saying this, in Ohio. MJ was the best. Michael Jordan. None better. I mean, you were a sports guy forever.
Well, I was a Chicago guy, too. So I was in love with Michael Jordan. But, I mean, everybody was in love with Michael Jordan. That was when everybody, when
like
the Bulls...
Mike, like to be like Mike.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
Wheaties box, he was it.
It was when everybody wanted to see the Bulls play.
664 wins playing. 285 losses. Hello. How many national championships?
6.
6. Unbelievable. I mean, that's a lot of Liberace tools there on the fingers. Here's what's interesting. He goes from playing, like many of you, you're going to be going from accumulating and saving, and many of you have done an amazing job amassing wealth over these years of retirement. But how you manage it on the distribution phase, as I just saw from perspective of folks that struggle through the GFC, folks that have done this well and those that have struggled. Look at MJ, the greatest basketball player ever. As an owner-manager, 185 wins, 291 losses. Now, I know it's basketball versus wealth management, but I want to be very clear and help you understand the way you have managed money and saved money. It must be different when you enter the distribution phase. And we hammer that in this free, yes, we're paying for it, FRE book, and you too can have one. They're going to put a QR code up there for you. You have to understand how all of your assets work together, or it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you losses. And this game is too hard to play, putting your head in the sand and go, I hope. It's too hard. And that's why having a retirement readiness review and a clear understanding of where your hidden risks are, what you can do about it, folks, it starts right here. It's a great, easy read. We're going to put the QR code up. Fill that in. Just a little information. I'll make sure our team gets you out a free copy. We're going to break down a little bit more here in a bit. I want to know we got to go to break. We can hear Randy yelling at us, go to break, go to break. But we get one shot at retirement. And just because we've played it well in the years of playing doesn't mean that we can do it the same. You have to have a different approach.
The 5 agreements. I want to put that up real quick because the book is there and sometimes you're walking past and don't get it. This is the QR code where you can scan this, be able to get the book. This is something that you need. Playing days are different. It's reps, it's reps, it's reps. And then when you adjust to what you haven't done before, you need an expert to take you through. Let's help you do that. We've all got a junk drawer at home, but having a junk drawer as your financial portfolio, it's not only confusing, it can be dangerous. All your investments need purpose. We're going to help you tell your money what to do next.
Have you gone out to dinner lately and been shocked by the price of the bill? Are you getting ready to retire or maybe just retired with debt? I'm not talking about your house or credit card or car. I'm talking about the tax debt that you could owe on any of the investments you have that you've yet to pay taxes on. Think about right now your 401k, maybe a 403b, 457, a traditional IRA, something you've put money away in and it has grown and you have yet to pay taxes on it. You owe a debt to Uncle Sam on that, and you need to get control of that right now. In this season, in this economic time, there are many strategies that you can do to minimize that debt and put more of your money back in your pocket. Want to learn more? You need to read the 5 agreements to be and stay retirement ready, where we spend some time talking about this very subject. How do you get a copy? Click the link below and my team will send one out to you absolutely free. You get one shot at retirement. Get rid of the debt so you can be and stay retirement ready.
For 92 years, Walgreens paid a stock dividend until they didn't. I mean, it was nearly a century. It felt like a guarantee, right? And if you're relying on stock dividends for retirement income, what happens when they stop? Your retirement income shouldn't depend on a company's decision. Scan the QR code. Get a complimentary income analysis today. Glad you're with us on Wise Money. Brad Johansson, Joe Wilson III. We're kind of talking about the different phases and moving into it. We tend to forget. It's just, as I get older, I tend to forget just about everything. But I want to go into a recency bias of understanding that, man, we had a run in the market.
It could continue.
And then I remember last week getting a call in the office from one of our clients. Said, I need out. It was a bad day in the market. We had those days where we saw in the middle of the day it dropping 700-800 points, and you get the phone call.
Well, what's amazing about that is because that's the reaction. And then as we sit and we help them understand, but remember, one of the things what we do when we work here, it's not being all managed the same way. And for some of you, that's how you're setting up your retirement. You're managing all your money the same way. Well, I'm 60-40, I'm 70-30. What we sat down and helped her understand, hey, what we did just setting up a few months ago, we have money that we have completely hedged out of this market volatility. And that's where we are going to go when she's getting ready to retire at the end of the year to get income if this volatility continues. But the money she was talking about was that piece of that was in the growth part of the bucket. And there will be more good years than bad years. But sometimes that volatility hits. And we were able to help her understand we've segmented the money, where we're going to go when things are bad, where we're going to go when things are good. It really helped calm her down because she realized, oh, I forgot. Yes, you guys are segmenting this. We're not managing it all the same. That's money I'm not going to need for another 15 plus years. And that revelation, what she went through there, helping her understand this is where we're going to go when there are bad times, when you need a car or when you need extra money to get medicine. We've got an income place to go that's hedged for market volatility. But when things are good, we could take it out of this side because you never want to sell your market money in down years. That's where people get hurt. That's where people got hurt in 2008, 2009. That's where people got hurt even in COVID. Think about this, B. Joe. During COVID, it was, this blew me away. In 2020, 5 years ago, the S&P 500 was down 34% in 33 days. Now that number is like, well, it's just, it came back. It did, but imagine if you had just retired and all of your money is being managed the same way. Could you have been in the position where you're like, I got to get out. I got to go to cash. I got to put it under my mattress.
Because of course.
And that is the feeling when we're managing it all the same way. But when we are able to take money and go, no, this is where we're going to get income. It's hedged away from this. We don't have to be subject to the whims of the market. It's going to cover your necessities. It's going to cover your lifestyle. The money that's going up and down, that is money 10, 15 years later. There is a calmness, and it keeps people sometimes from doing the worst thing. And that's 180 degrees this way or 180 degrees that way. Because if you would have gone to cash during that month, which was horrible with all of your money, you would have missed the beginning of one of the greatest bull runs we have seen in decades. You have to segment your money. Every dollar has to have a job to do. This is growth money. It is okay to be subject to volatility. This is money that I'm going to get access to 5 to 7 years from now when I start to do a little bit more travel. This is money that's going to cover all of my necessities and my lifestyle along with Social Security. So you know with confidence you can retire and have the income that you've always wanted. If you don't do it that way, you are hoping and you're losing the fact that, man, bad markets can still come.
I don't know whether I'm ready. You've set up a quiz. Take them to the quiz that you've now set up. We always add a bunch of these things to make it a little bit more simple, and we always try to get a little bit better. This may help you get a little bit better.
You're probably sitting there on the couch and you're asking yourself, maybe you're driving around, you're going, wow, do I have enough money to retire? The question you're really asking yourself is, do I have enough money to last me to and through retirement? When I look at the possibility of taxes and I look at the possibility of inflation, I look at the possibilities of healthcare, this quiz was created for you to help give you an idea and understanding of, well, how ready am I? Am I better than I thought? Or if not, it's hard to get information. So how do we help it out? owquiz.com. It'll take you 5 to 6 minutes. It's not overly in-depth, but it's just some general questions. You're not giving away anything personally here, other than just some basic information. It's a great way to gauge how you're feeling and where you are right now in regards to your journey to be and stay retirement ready. Take off your phone, put a little QR code on there, owquiz.com. We got to go to break. When we come back, we're going to be diving more into this conversation of 60-40, managing my money all the same way. We might even touch on the Fiscal House, B. Joe. Stick tuned. We'll be right back.
There's a place for all of your money. Some of it in the foundation, some in the walls, some in the roof. Let Omega Wealth help you build a solid fiscal house. We'll tell you how next.
The worst day in retirement isn't the day you run out of money.
It's when you realize you're going to run out of money and there's nothing you can do about it. It's why in my new book, The 5 Agreements to Be and Stay Retirement Ready, we talk about asset and capital preservation. So many things can derail a modern retiree's retirement by surprises, a huge dip in the market. What about a healthcare concern? There are costs right now of $110,000 to $130,000 a year for long-term care. What strategies have you taken right now to hedge your retirement against that risk? There are so many ways to do it. Want to learn more? You need a copy of my brand new book, The 5 Agreements to Be and Stay Retirement Ready. Click the link below, fill out some information, and my team will send out a copy to you absolutely free. Looking forward to you reading it and maybe seeing you in the office so we can help you be and stay retirement ready. Hard to believe I've been in this industry almost 19 years. I've seen a lot of folks that have had successful retirements that have come in and come to work with us, and things are going well, they just want to improve it. I've also had folks come in and we see it the other way, where it has not gone the way that they've wanted. So there's a perspective there. We see a lot. We get the opportunity to get wisdom from that. So it led me to write a book after 18 years, and we call it The 5 Agreements to Be and Stay Retirement Ready, because you have to have all 5 agreements. You have to have an income plan. You have to manage for taxes. You have to have an investment growth bucket that is able to sustain and beat long-term inflation. They all have to work together. But you also have to have a legacy plan, because we're all going to die one day. And how do you pass those dollars on most efficiently? And what about asset preservation? You're looking at the cost of healthcare and where it's going. What's our hedge against that? It's the #1 area we see folks not even prepared, that and taxes. All 5 of those agreements must come together. It's why we say to be and stay retirement ready.
Glad you're with us on Wise Money. Brad Johansen with Joe Wilson III. We're talking about the 5 agreements, the book that Joe has come out with. Within that is a Social Security plan, which becomes so crucial because people don't know the complexities of the Social Security program. They don't know whether or not Social Security is actually secure. And there are people who are trying to figure out, when am I supposed to take it? And we have people come in weekly, daily, who are saying, I've already done it. Should I have done it? Because they never got advice. I'm going to do it here, and she's going to do it there. Have we done the math on this right? This is the idea of trying to figure out whether or not we're actually planning for a guaranteed income in the right way that's going to take us for the long term, instead of saying, I want my money now.
It has to work with all your other assets. It's what we call it Social Security optimization. You can't look at everything in retirement in a funnel. It has to be looked at holistically. And we talk about the Fiscal House, and I want you to get this in your mind. I've done this on the show before. Maybe this is your first time watching. Just think of a elementary, drawing of a house. There's a roof, there's 2 walls, and then a foundation, right? It's the Fiscal House. When the storms and the sirens start running off here in springtime in Ohio and northern Kentucky and southern Indiana, where do we tend to go?
We go down to the basement.
My wife and daughter run to the basement with the dog. My son and I, we're idiots. We go outside and, well, where's that tornado? I mean, we're just idiots. We love the thrill of it. By the way, have you seen the movie?
That's why women live longer, Joe.
True. Yeah. Have you seen the movie Twister?
Yes.
Yes, it's epic. The new one is fantastic. I would be the guy that would be out there, and my wife would be in the cellar and would survive. In economic storms and tornadoes, because they come, this is where you have your money, where you're going to go for safety. And it's contractually obligated. So Social Security, maybe you have a pension. Maybe you have a personal pension, like an income plan, mailbox money, we like to say, that's coming to you regardless if the market is up and down. That is the foundation of your house and your fiscal house. Here's why. You cannot survive retirement when you look at taxes, when you look at inflation that eats away at those dollars, when you look at longevity risk, without having a firm foundation. We all grew up on the story of the 3 little pigs, huff and puff and blow your house down. Well, sometimes the market will huff and it'll puff. You have to have a strong foundation to your fiscal house. So many times we see folks with money just in the roof. You think about what you have in your statement. Maybe pull it up online, or if you're a paper person, get that paper out and look. And anything that could go up or down, just put an R on it, roof. Mutual fund, up or down. Bond fund, up or down. Individual stocks could go up, could go down. Well, I get dividends. We love dividends. The challenge is sometimes we see them so concentrated. We talked about it. You did here. Walgreens paid a dividend for almost 100 years. And because of what happened in the economy and as things shifted, the leadership just didn't adjust and they ceased that dividend. In fact, now just news in the market, it's getting ready to go private. That's a huge, huge shift if all of your income was just subject to that. It's why we segment the money and we use the Fiscal House to help do it. So many folks that come in for the first time, they're worried about volatility. While there could be storms, and the fact is all the money tends to just be too much in the roof. We haven't done a proper job putting money in the walls, putting money in the foundation.
And this becomes part of a tax plan, too. We need to do this for you every single time we come on the air because this may be your biggest hurdle in retirement. wisetaxbill.com. As we said, we try to come up with as many tools as we possibly can to make it easier for you to understand where you are, where you need to be, and how we need to come up with 5 agreements to make you be and stay retirement. We're at wisetaxbill.com. Scan the QR code, go to the website. I apologize, you can't unsee this because it's significant for so many people.
It is the Toto moment, pulling back the curtain in the Wizard of Oz.
It's not all your money.
Well, it's not. And the sooner you realize this, I think the sooner the light bulb goes off and goes, ooh, we got to do a little shift in our planning. Because if you're looking at all of your money and going, I've got plenty, and you haven't tested that, stress tested against markets that are volatile, if you haven't looked at it from an after-tax lens, because again, you can only buy your Big Mac and fries with after-tax dollars. You can't take your grands to Kings Island without having to pay taxes. You can't walk to that statement. You have to convert that into cash. So many folks aren't planning on truly an income plan, and it has to start there. It's why we focus on income planning at the very beginning of this book and in retirement plans, because if you don't do the proper planning with income, with taxes and inflation, it can cause a nightmare 15 to 20 years down the road.
Got to go to break. Be right back. I've got $1 million question for you. Are you ready to retire? Sorry, I don't know is not an acceptable answer. Now, you may be years away, maybe you're weeks away from calling it quits, and you still don't have a plan. You're not alone. So scan the QR code. It's free. Go to owquiz.com. We've created a quiz to give you a clear idea of retirement readiness. What's your income source? What's your Social Security at full retirement age? Do you know what your tax debt is? Plan for health care? I know, it's a lot. Scan the QR code. Get your retirement readiness score. In just a few minutes, you will have a much clearer picture of how ready you are and which areas might need a little more attention, because if you're not ready to retire with enough money to last until your last breath, when would you like to know? Stop with the I don't know. Get a second opinion. It's free. Scan the QR code, owquiz.com for your retirement readiness score. Ready now? At Omega Wealth Private Capital, we understand your retirement plan isn't a set of numbers. It's the culmination of a lifetime of hard work, sacrifice, and dedication, so every detail of your financial journey should be actively managed. We don't believe in a set-it-and-forget-it approach. Wouldn't it be nice to get some plain-spoken advice without Wall Street jargon? Because you should understand what you own and why you own it, giving you real confidence in your retirement plan. We take a comprehensive look at your goals. We craft a personal strategy that ensures your current needs are being met as we prepare for your future. From creating income with investment strategies to maximizing tax efficiency and preserving your assets to create a legacy plan that lasts. It's your retirement. Do it your way. Would you like some help? Call the number on your screen, scan the QR code, Omega Wealth Private Capital. We're different by design. Glad you're with us on Wise Money. Brad Johansen with Joe Wilson III. We began the program talking about the difference in moving from accumulation to distribution, likened it to the athletes. Michael Jordan won 6 titles as a player, moved to ownership, was in it about 15 years, Joe, and won 4 seasons.
Yeah, part owner or owner with the Charlotte Hornets, only 4 seasons out of 15. What you've done to get you where you are is not always guaranteed to get you where you need to be going forward, because the landscape absolutely shifts and changes when you go into retirement. It's why we focus so heavily on retirement income planning. because we have just seen the horrors of folks coming in that have maybe been retired 4 or 5 years, and in this rise of inflation are just going, man, we've had to take out so much money just to make ends meet. Are we going to run out sooner? And so it's causing this whole shift. Nay. We have to get in front of this. It's why you have to have a clear understanding of your after-tax, inflation-adjusted income, because without it, we're gambling in the wind. And that is not a good place to be, because in the back half of your life, when you are in that management stage of all the money and all the wins you've built, you have to do better than just 4 out of 15 wins.
So you've put together what you say, and the reason you have this book together, and you've been working on it for a long time, is that if you miss one of these,
it'll cost money.
In the game, there's a game adjustment that you have to make, the 5 agreements, and you emphasize this all the time. It's not, anybody can retire. It's staying retired that's the problem.
Yeah, we've talked about it in previous shows. I mean, having started in this business when I did, and being able to have the perspective of folks that struggled at times through the great financial crisis, watching them come in, as I learned from other advisors and seeing where they were struggling, that was the basis of this book. And really, folks, we're going to cover 5 things. It covers how do you have an income plan that'll last you to and through retirement. Really, what is true diversification of your investments? It's more than just large cap and small cap. Asset preservation. How do you have money set aside that you can weather strong economic storms that I promise you will be fewer than the good years, but could be ravishing if you don't plan for it appropriately? Taxes. You can only spend after-tax dollars, and this is a tax time bomb that we're seeing just being built. And who gets this money when you're gone? All 5 of those. It's a great, easy read. If this is something you're going, wow, I need to get an idea about this. Well, click the QR code there, zoom in there, put in some information, and our team will send one of these things. Zoom in here. Get my chubby cheeks in there. There you go. Look at that. The 5 agreements to be and stay retirement ready. You get one shot at retirement. We're talking about how you managed money while you were working. You might have been very successful, but when it comes to distribution, not understanding what your tax bill is on it, where you're going to get income when the market does have those down years, these are things that you must address now. Why? Because it can have such a major effect if the economic winds shift. I want to thank you for watching. Many of you have watched many, many years. This is your time to set up a free consultation. Thanks for watching Wise Money. Get a book. See you next week.
From tax time bombs to Social Security insecurities, strategic investments that help clean up your junk drawer and keep your income engine running smoothly at Omega Wealth Private Capital. We're fiduciary, independent, holistic wealth advisors, and we're here to turn your have-tos into get-tos. So, would you like your retirement dreams to move from good to great? Give us a call. It's what we do because we really want to. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope to see you in the office. Until then, I'm Brad Johansson. We'll see you next time on Wise Money.